Hello, so today we're going to use our Florida home sales data and we're actually going to use a tool called Google Fusion Tables and plot our data points on a map. So I've actually went and copied and pasted randomly about 200 of our home sales points from our previous spreadsheet, and the first thing I'm going to need to do is create a column that has the full address. And in order to do this quickly, gotta go to the top. In order to do this quickly, I'm going to use the concatenate function. And you see concatenate, and you get to join several text strings into one. And I want to start with the street number to get the full address. And I'm going to put a space in between each one. And you indicate the space with an open quote, space, close quote. And you can get a preview here to make sure it's appearing how you want it. And so far it is. City. And then the last one is going to be a zip code. And then you can, there it is, the full address with necessary spaces. And I can copy and paste that formula all the way down. And now I just want to save this data sheet in order so that I can export it to Google. So now I'm going to go to my Google Drive. I'm going to go New. You see Docs, Sheets, Slides. If you go to More, you may or may not see Google Fusion Tables. If not, you go to Connect More Apps and you'll find Google Fusion Tables there. So I'm going to go Google Fusion Tables. And what it's going to do, it's going to allow me to either export data from my computer or directly from Google Spreadsheets. So I'm going to browse my computer, find my data sheet, and then I'm going to go Next. And you can see it gives me a preview here, which is exactly what I want. So I go Next, and then I do want it to export it from Excel, so I'm going to leave this box checked and go Finish. And right now it's going to export everything from Excel into Google Fusion Tables. And there it is. So I have exactly what I had in Excel now in Google Fusion Tables. So right now this highlight means that Google has recognized city to be the locational data point. So if I go map of city, it's going to geocode, which means that it's extracting the geographical information from my sheet and plotting it on the map. And I only get 2 hits. 1 hit. And that's Jacksonville. Well, actually 2. Right. But I don't want city only. I actually want to plot the full address. So I'm going to go back to my data set and I'm going to click full address and I'm going to change it. And Google has recognized full address to be a date or a time data point, but it's actually a locational one, and I'm going to save that change. And you can see my full address is now the highlighted data point, and I actually want to map this. So I'm going to go File, Geocode, and not city but full address. Begin geocoding. And you'll notice that it's going to take quite a bit longer to geocode the full address than it would to geocode the city, simply because we have a larger number of different full addresses than we did different cities. But it shouldn't take too long. I think this will take 2 to 3 minutes at most. And this doesn't have to only be used for, residential information. I'm sure franchises and large corporations that have stores all over the country or restaurants all over the country can use similar data to track similar geocoding to plot their store footprints on the map. And then there's various ways to filter the data once it's plotted, and we'll get into that as soon as we get our data plotted. And then that quality 2% ambiguous, that's very good, and it's green, so that's good. Yellow is average, and red will be pretty bad. So if you're in the yellow or red, you want to go in and clean your data up some, because for some reason Google isn't able to identify it properly. So you may have misspelled something or didn't put the proper spacing, so that can affect the effectiveness of your Google map that's created. And you can see what we're about 70% done in about 2 minutes have passed, so it's probably about a 3-minute process. So if you had thousands of data points, this could I don't know, take 15-20 minutes or so. And if, of course, you're probably not dealing with the best internet connectivity at this point. So depending on your internet speed, that would certainly help with the process. Nonetheless, we're almost done here. And now it's done, and I'm going to go map, and I want my full address, and then I'm going to zoom in, and I should see this one data point start to pan out into dozens, then hundreds, which it is doing, which is good. So our data was geocoded. So now that we have all of our data points plotted, we can actually begin to place filters on our data points, and we can, since this was sales, a good filter to place would be in regards to price. So we can see which areas have higher property values compared to others. Is it the north, east, southwest, where. So now we're going to change feature styles. So we can go use one icon list, or we can do buckets. So our range, let me do one thing first. And I'm going to place a filter on it. Sales price filter. So we can see we have 201 values ranging from 100,000 to 2.9 million. So we're going to use our sales price, and you can see it gives us a range, and we can let's do 4 buckets since we have such a high value. So we can see from here 100 to 812 is yellow, 812 to 1.5 is green, 1.5 to 2.2 is purple, and 2.2 and up is red. And we can save this, and we can see that our higher price ranged homes are on the beach, very literally on the beach. And so this is how we can place like a filter on our values in order to see differences. And we can see we have a wide range of homes ranging from 100,000 to 812,000. And we can see that even still all of our values above the 812 mark are closer to each. You know, we can create a legend to be placed on the map. Sorry, you gotta click show marker legend and we'll get the legend to appear. Hopefully. I'm not sure why the legend isn't coming up. But this is how we use Fusion tables to plot data on a data sheet. Thank you.